Hi, it's Nick for the Run Testers, and this is our review of the Saucony Endorphin Speed 2 Runshield edition. So the Runshield is the winterised version of the Saucony Endorphin Speed 2. There's a lot of similarities with the standard speed and then a few kind of tweaks to make it better for kind of wet and cold conditions. Those tweaks result in the price being a little bit higher. The Runshield is £165 in the UK or $180 in the US, which is a little jump from the £155 or $160 the normal Endorphin Speed costs. The drop is the same, 8mm, and the stack is also the same. It's 35.5 at the heel and 27.5 at the forefoot. The weight is a little bit interesting. It's listed as more or less the same as the Endorphin Speed. I found that there was a difference across the two shoes I have actually with the Runshield. One was 225 grams, which was 7.9 ounces, and one was 232 grams, but that's both just slightly lighter than my Endorphin Speed 2 in a UK 9. So overall it's just interesting that the changes made to the shoe haven't added any weight, as you might expect with a winterised shoe. Instead they seem to have reduced the weight very slightly. Anyway, the key changes to the shoe are in the upper, which is this Runshield upper. It's a different kind of material. You can feel it's a bit more plasticky, and that's basically because it's water resistant. It's not waterproof, it's a water resistant upper, and there's a thermal layer in there as well, just to keep your foot warm on cold runs. Yeah, so it's really not designed, it's not a Gore-Tex upper. It's not designed to completely repel water. It's just to shrug off the odd shower and keep your foot warm in the winter. Front of the shoe you also have this kind of interesting toe bumper, and at the back it's the same really as the Speed in terms of padding you get around the tongue and collar of the shoes. It's a nice amount of padding, and there's a little pull tab there to help you get it on. And obviously the upper's also changed in terms of the dramatic colours you've got going on here, which is very nice, very reminiscent of ski resorts and stuff like that. The midsole is listed as exactly the same, so you're still getting this Power Run PB foam, really nice PB based foam with a nylon plate in the midsole, and then kind of Saucony speed roll geometry. That all combines to create basically the best ride of pretty much any running shoe out there, and I can say it's still really, really good on the Endorphin Speed Runshield. I kind of noticed maybe some slight differences in the ride, but we'll talk about it in the run section. It might all just be in my head, because it is listed as having very much the same materials and geometry as the standard Endorphin Speed 2, which is a good thing, obviously. Now the outsole is interesting. The information I've got from Saucony when they sent me over the toolkit for the shoe, there was no mention of anything different about the outsole at all. Some places have said there's a different rubber called Cold Track used. To me it looks the same, and it certainly feels and performs exactly the same on the run, which is actually not a great thing. We'll talk about that again in the running section, but yeah, I don't know if there's different rubber on here, but doesn't feel different to me. Looks about the same, the weight's the same, so they've not really added anything there. It's an interesting choice by Saucony basically, because you would expect maybe a grippier, more kind of hardy outsole just to give you more grip in kind of winter conditions, but it doesn't seem like that's what they've gone with as far as I know and from what I can tell on the run. Like the Endorphin Speed 1 and 2, the Endorphin Speed Runshield is completely true to size for me. It fits really nicely, a good amount of room in the toe box, but a nice lockdown fit around the midfoot. I have a fairly narrow foot, so I do have to pull the laces quite tight on all the Endorphin Speeds, but I never find it hard to get a comfortable and secure fit in my normal size. When it comes to the run test, we're going to focus a lot on the kind of differences here to the normal speed. I have a little chat about the performance of the Runshield, but largely it's the same as the Endorphin Speed 2, and we've covered that extensively on the channel. We all love it. It was our shoe of the year. We've got a long multi-test review, got a 500-kilometer review of the Endorphin Speed 1, and yeah, this is another fantastic shoe. I've done 50k in it, mostly quite hard running, trying to kind of go out on it when the conditions were bad, and it performs beautifully. It's got the same fast, smooth, really enjoyable ride that just helps your legs turn over and maintain paces at the end of kind of hard reps or long tempo runs in particular. I've done kind of 2 really hard road runs in it and a track session, always trying to find a bit of rain or a really cold day, and yeah, it's fantastic. I'd say on easy runs, to me it feels slightly softer than the standard Endorphin Speed 2, but that might all be in my head. I've done a bit of running with both on my feet, but once you're up at speed, using it for its main purpose as a fast trainer, it's feels the same, really good. And it's still really versatile. You can still use it for those easy runs, like I say, and it's a good long run shoe as well. It's it's got it all, and now it comes in the snazzy new colourway with a bit more weather protection. Now, when it comes to the weatherproofing, I'd say the best feature on the Endorphin Speed Runshield is the thermal layer. I've run in it now. I've gone as low as about probably just above 0 with a real feel of below kind of 0 degrees centigrade. And yeah, my feet are really warm in it. And I've used it also up to kind of above 10 degrees in milder days, and it doesn't get too hot either. So I think it's a really nice, well-designed thermal layer. It does keep your feet warm. So probably the classic example is that I did a long track session in the shoe, and I cycled there in the wet. So obviously I was getting all the spray from the road onto the shoes. Did a session for about an hour in the rain. It was a reasonably cold day. It was probably somewhere between 5 and 10 degrees. It wasn't very, very cold, but I was pretty cold all round. And then on the cycle back, I got very, very cold. My hands were absolutely freezing, all that kind of stuff. And my feet were just warm the whole time. The thermal layer works. I think I haven't gone to like -10, minus 20, but around 0 degrees centigrade is a good one for keeping your feet warm, and I don't think it makes them too hot either. So yeah, thermal layer is a thumbs up. Now, on that session in the track where I was in the rain for a couple of hours cycling and running, my feet were not dry at all. Very much think this is kind of water resistant, not at all waterproof. It's I splashed around in some puddles just for a bit of a laugh, and you can see here the way the water beads on the surface a little bit. It will kind of shrug off splashes and get light showers if you're only out for maybe kind of a half-hour run, that kind of thing, or even 45 minutes. But in heavy rain, or if you're out for extended periods, your feet are going to get wet, and that's something I've never really bothered me. I've never been a huge fan of fully waterproof shoes because they get a bit sweaty, and once water gets in over the side, then your feet are just in a puddle the whole time. So I don't mind that. But if you are looking at this as kind of a Gore-Tex shoe, a bit like Nike's Pegasus Gore-Tex or something like that, it's not what you're getting here at all. It's it's a little bit water resistant. Really, the key feature on the upper for me is the thermal layer for warmth. They're not going to stay dry, your feet, if it's really wet, I'm afraid. Now, I don't mind that too much, but the outsole I do think is a little bit problematic on a shoe built for kind of wintry conditions. The standard Endorphin Speed has got the same outsole, and I've always said it's a little bit slick on kind of that slightly greasy pavements, and when there's that morning kind of mist is hanging in the air, the pavement could be a bit slippy, that kind of thing. It's never really bothered me. I've still always done reps in those conditions. At the start of every rep, I just get a little bit of slipping, but then I just get into my stride, and actually it never really stops me running hard, running fast. Maybe a little bit more careful around corners, but this is the same outsole as far as I can tell. I've had exactly the same, and all the runs I've done in it in slightly greasy or icy conditions. I'd still be just as careful. I don't think getting extra grip on that track workout. I was doing 2400s and did 15 in this shoe, and every single one, the start of it, a little bit of slip as I went off the gate, to start the 400, and then I settled into my stride, and it wasn't too slippery. But yeah, it's just not an outstandingly grippy outsole. It's not terrible. I think it's fine. But if you're going to make a winter version of a shoe, I don't know why you wouldn't make it a bit better, basically. I don't know why you wouldn't have a bit more rubber, have slightly more grippy rubber designed better for that kind of slick conditions. If you're going to be in the wet more often, if you're going to be on slightly kind of icy pavements with that sheen on them a bit more often, then more grip would be welcome, in my opinion. And it's not like this is a heavy shoe. If people said, it's the winter edition of the Endorphin Speed, it's 10 grams heavier than the normal one, fine, everyone would accept that. If you're getting a bit more grip, but you're still getting that lovely midsole feel, that would be a worthy trade-off. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe if they found that if they put a more aggressive outsole on the shoe, it lost some of the kind of magic in the midsole. But it just seems strange, to have a winter version of the shoe with the outsole that's the same as a normal shoe, which has an okay but not spectacular outsole when it comes to grip. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be a huge problem. But if you're running a lot on ice and stuff, in really icy conditions, if it's a lot colder than where I am in the UK, this isn't going to be the answer if you are really searching for grip beyond what you get from a normal road shoe. So the Endorphin Speed 2 is pretty much my favourite running shoe. It's a lot of people's favourite running shoe, so it's hard to see what kind of shoe could knock it off its perch apart from another Endorphin Speed. That might be the answer, and there's a few reasons to suggest that the Endorphin Speed Runshield is a little bit better than the Endorphin Speed 2, in that the performance is just as good and you are getting that nice warm upper. But you're not getting a lot more than that. You're not getting really any significant waterproofing at all there, and the outsole is, to all intents and purposes, the same, in my opinion. And then you're paying a little bit more for that. If you've come to the end of your shoe's lifespan naturally, and you're heading into winter, then I'd probably pay the extra £10 and get the Runshield for your next Endorphin Speed or your next running shoe, because it will be a really good winter performer. Just don't go in expecting amazing grip or waterproofing. But if you've already got the Endorphin Speed 2, I don't think there's any reason to shell out on this shoe. You're not getting a significant leap. There's a little bit of extra warmth in the upper, but unless you're someone who really suffers from cold feet and you're often out for really long periods in kind of winter conditions, you're probably not going to really feel the benefit that much. So yeah, it's a good shoe. There's a case for saying you should buy it ahead of the Endorphin Speed, as mentioned there before, but it's not a huge kind of game changer. It's a very good colourway, and some of the Endorphin Speed ones, normal ones, aren't that good, so that's a nice plus point, I guess. But yeah, I think maybe next year, if Saucony come back and do another Runshield edition, there's a few things they could look at. Certainly in terms of the outsole, I don't really mind it not being too fully waterproof, but yeah, an outsole improvement would be welcome, because at the moment you're just getting basically a warm Endorphin Speed, which is nice, but maybe not exactly what you're expecting from a Runshield shoe. So that's it, guys. That is our review of the Endorphin Speed 2 Runshield. It's always fun to talk about the Endorphin Speed, so dive into the comments, let's have a chat about how great this shoe is and why Saucony didn't do more of an outsole. Any theories out there, well, I'd love to hear them. Please like, subscribe, ring the little bell, and yeah, we'll see you next time.